Okay, we'll call to order the official portion of the SWREMS meeting. We have a quorum present. Like approval of the minutes from our previous meeting. Everybody was emailed them. Todd, Chris. Treasurer's report. Oops. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thanks, Rod. Treasurer report.
Circulated.
What's the motion on the treasurer's report? It's been handed out to you.
We accept the treasurer's report.
I'll second it.
Rod? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Enforcement notifications, we have one. Mona's going to read it for me. I forgot my glasses.
I offered mine, but he was worried they had rhinestones. This is for Kenneth Relye, R-E-L-Y-E-A, for a violation of Part 816A7, assessed a civil penalty of $3,000, of which $1,000 is suspended. However, his license was revoked effective 12/2016. Address of 365 North Peterborough Street, Canastota, New York. Date of birth 2/8/1983, and EMT number was 300-531.
Okay, thanks. Old business, have vital signs reimbursement. As Mickey had mentioned earlier, we have some money left over, and we need to decide what we are going to do with that. Go
And
ahead.
I'd like to make a motion that it goes to the executive committee, bring back a recommendation at the next meeting.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor to have the executive committee look at it and bring it back to the next meeting.
Second.
Second. Scott, all in favor? Opposed?
Hang on one second.
All right.
Does the money need to be spent before that date that we reconvene?
It does? Yeah.
Would you like to amend your motion? Or give the chair the discretion?
And I'd like to withdraw the previous motion. Todd has a motion he'd like to move instead.
Okay. The previous motion has been withdrawn.
Uh,
How do you?
yeah, look, yeah, I think I'd like to have discussion on it.
Okay.
But if it has to, this money has to be reallocated and spent before a date, could we allow the chair to have discretion on how to spend this? And is that something that this council has an appetite to consider?
Well, first of all, how much money are we talking
Probably about between $6,000 and $7,000.
about? I don't feel comfortable not having a voice as a council to spend that much money, I guess, would be my opinion.
What are our options to spend the money on? Does it have to be spent for something, training in particular, or what can the money be spent?
We have a special dispensation from the state that allows us to fund vital signs. We have to be very careful on how we spend our money to get the business of this council done, and that's what our job is with that money.
And if we don't spend it,
It's
You
not
lose it.
reimbursable.
you lose it, right? It's
Yeah.
a reimbursement.
Yes.
So if we don't spend it, it goes back to the state.
Well, you haven't got it.
We never got there, but
So can we
it's
put
just
the money
unspent state
towards,
money.
you can spend the money for council activities.
Mhm.
The dispensation was permission to reimburse for vital signs.
Right.
But if that frees up however many dollars it frees up, you can use it for council business.
Oh, Dan?
Yeah, can I back up just a hair? I was gonna ask you afterwards, but seeing as it's that much money, I'd like to know what the Allegheny County people did been wrong that they didn't get reimbursed?
The instructions clearly stated that they had to incur the cost, pay for the hotel, pay for the conference. The squad paid for the whole thing.
Can you reimburse this?
Okay.
We told them we couldn't do that.
Yeah, because I know that this is gonna come up at our next county council meeting, and I just needed to know what the facts were, so.
And it has been discussed with them. I spoke with them, Ed has spoken with them. We spoke to the captain there, we've spoken to May as the chairman of the council at the time. She signed them. And I think we also spoke with Jeff Mock.
It was clear before they ever went to vital signs at that.
Okay, I just,
I mean,
because I know
I
this is gonna be
personally
talked
told
about.
them several times.
Yeah, we talked
Okay.
about it.
I mean,
It was clear to me.
it was very, I
And
made
I
it
got
very
it.
crystal clear, and I'm not sure
Okay.
how they didn't hear me, but.
I wanted to know how to react when this comes up at the next county council meeting, which I know it will, so. So, okay, thank you. I understand.
I guess I'll make the motion that if we have money that needs to be spent for council business, that be circulated amongst the membership and we take an electronic vote if we find the need to spend that money. If not, we just don't spend it.
Okay, we have a motion on the
I'd
floor.
like to second Dan's motion.
Seconded. Any other discussion?
Clarify the motion again, Dan. I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
The motion would be to, if there is council business that needs funding, that we circulate that electronically amongst the membership and take an electronic vote.
I think, according to Robert's rules, I'd just like to put this up on the table. I think it's a problem. Just to be, people need to be aware of, if they can interact on discussion, it has to be a unanimous vote for it to pass. So everybody needs to be aware of that, if it's an electronic vote or a fax vote or whatever.
Can we use some of the money to pay for the STEMS conference coming up?
We're gonna discuss that
That's not-
annual provider meeting in conjunction with the conference. So we have our annual provider meeting, it's coming. But that's already been allocated.
So we don't need any more?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, we have a motion made and seconded. Any further discussion?
I have just another item of discussion, Don. With the collaborative rollout, and that, is there any other expenses from printing of paper protocols to apps to any other things that?
Oh, I'm sure I can come up with a list. I mean, like I said, the paper protocols is something that's gonna be expensive, and I think each hospital should have a paper one. I mean, I know the app is something everybody loves, but some people just need to read. You know, so that is something, I think, you know, some education pieces that need to be put together. So I'm sure I can come up with some lists. Things that need to help with the rollout.
What is the deadline for,
March 31st is the end of the fiscal year.
For them, for the council. The program agencies are a different cycle.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
So, just so I'm clear, we passed two motions, right? One is that the executive committee comes up with a list, and that was to be voted on the next time, and then I made a motion that we do that vote electronically.
That was withdrawn. First one I did not have. That was withdrawn.
Correct.
The only
It
motion
was
that
already
was,
voted on before
Yeah,
she
you could,
withdrew.
that's
You
correct.
can't withdraw a past motion.
Chair didn't declare it passed yet. But if you, I'll reflect the minutes however you want, but they were stricken. You want to put back
It was
in,
Yeah.
voted on and passed.
and that was Mickey, and the second for that was Scott.
I left, this next one I left on old business, just response modes. We talked to the three counties, and Dr. Walters had a thing to put out about response mode. I don't know if there's any more action here. I know that there's some stuff in the works in Cat County. I don't know about the other counties, but
I think in Colorado, since you talk about it, it's an ongoing discussion and being addressed. I don't know,
We're implementing priority dispatch back into EMS. It will be ready to go soon.
so it sounds like all three counties are working on it.
great. New business, I put in the controlled substance deadline. I believe all the agencies in our three counties are all, if they're not compliant, they're working on being compliant very shortly. So I'm not sure that's an issue that needs discussed.
We have several that were taken offline, right? As of last night.
No, no.
Yeah, I think you're referring to a few agencies listed in Ron's email.
Yeah.
But they weren't taken
But
offline.
they weren't because they're in process, they're waiting on a signature or something of that nature, that's my understanding.
And they reached out to their medical directors to get confirmation on the.
Yeah, I think the few stragglers have all had their issues addressed and that with some.
Okay, because that's not the impression I got from Ron.
I'm with Dan. I thought that if you weren't ready to go last night, you were
It
going
says
back.
may be taken offline,
Okay.
correct? It's your email.
As far as we are concerned, if we don't have, essentially a bona fide application, so I left that vague enough so that, between your medical director, the regional rep, that kind of stuff, if we don't have something in hand that actually looks sort of like an application, the department considers these agencies to not be advanced licensed.
But the four that we have applications.
I can speak for two in Cat County.
Yeah.
The two in Cat County spoke to that, and they're good.
Yeah. And we had an issue because of Dr. Lamaw's son passing that we couldn't get actual signatures, but we did contact the state and they allowed us to send it in pending his signature and allowed us to move forward. So, and Dr. Walters has the one in.
Yeah, so every outstanding agency, because I can't speak for Allegheny County, but in Colorado, has been addressed in the paperwork. Not somebody saying, oh yes, we're going to do it, but is signed and if not received by the Bureau yet, is being submitted.
So nobody's officially offline at this point, right?
Correct.
Okay, any other new business? Mickey brought up an annual provider meeting that I just added.
Yeah, we definitely I need to make a motion that we support our annual provider meeting so we can secure the funding to make this happen.
Okay.
Up to $5,000, then that's the dollar that we traditionally earmark for our annual provider meeting.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion made, motion second. Any discussion on $5,000 for the annual provider meeting? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any other new business? Mickey?
I'd like to make a motion that we ask the chairman to write a letter to our senator and assemblyman regarding the budget process and to maintain the current funding for EMS.
Motion made by Mickey.
I'd like to propose a friendly amendment. I think the other side wanted the governor's office.
Who's that?
Governor's office, too.
Sure.
I second that. Silently burns.
Twice.
At our February
And then
1st meeting,
Major. Might as well throw him in there.
at our February 1st meeting, Leapers asked us to.
I'm this close to
have a motion made and seconded to send a letter to the governor and senator and assemblyman to maintain the current, or maintain the past, what has been the current EMS budget, or
It would be past
Proposed.
appropriation, I think, because the current one
Is the cash
is
ceiling
is the 16. So we would want them to be in the current allocation of 19.6, I believe. Is that right, Dave? 19 point,
How about we just say no lower than 2016?
okay. Allocation.
any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any other new business? Tom?
I'd like to make a motion that the council covers any, if there is a shortfall in the instructor update course, if reimbursement doesn't cover, that the council will cover that gap.
Second.
Second, you have a motion made and second?
Vicky, second.
Yeah, second. To cover any shortfalls in the instructor update, if there's any shortfalls. Any other discussion?
Are we gonna set a limit on that? Do we need to set a limit?
Do you want to know what it usually
think-
costs? It
Yeah.
usually costs, it usually costs about $1,000 by the time we pay for instructors. And leave me disclosure, we pay for lunch because we don't want to lose them for the time. So it's a working lunch. So it usually runs about $1,000. In the past, we got $960 reimbursement, and as they mentioned, it's now $15 a person.
So what's the normal population that you would have for time?
I don't know, because, I mean, we are trying to get everybody, just because of the test, I mean, and.
It's not a sexy topic, Pam.
Yeah,
I know that.
I mean, we did get permission to do it distance learning, so that allows us to do us, a little bit more.
How many did you say could attend?
70 total, I mean, we don't have 70.
Okay, I don't envision
I mean,
more than
I don't, Abby, do
30.
you know our number of instructors? I mean,
And that's at both sites.
I think it's like 40.
I would say 20 to 30 was my guess.
Yeah, I mean, so say 30 at $15 a person. Yeah.
Any other discussion?
Well, getting back to this point, do we want to put a limit of $750 on it?
Sure. The limit, the motion made a limit of $750 to fund shortfalls on the CLI research, CLI update. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any other new business?
I just have one. Tim has been gracious enough to share with me, they've gone to using Target Solution. And it got brought up at the Allegheny Council meeting. And since then, we have reached out to them. We're hoping that he will call back tomorrow, he's supposed to. I guess he's been traveling a lot. But the goal would be to look at the possibility of STEMS covering the cost of the, what is it, initiation fee?
Yeah, licenses.
The licensing, and then allowing agencies to come underneath, kind of, they call it a parent-child relationship or an enterprise relationship. So what we'd like to do is, once we find out if we can do that, possibly bring Mike, Phil, and Bobby on board, because there is some possibilities. They are approved currently to do their CME-based program online, most of it. So having you guys look at it too to see what benefits you would see from it. It will allow us to do all the credentialing online and keeping all the certifications. So we, again, see it as a positive, and that's why we're looking to do kind of the initiation fee, kind of like we did with the EMS charts. So then we would be able to kind of collect everything under one one
So
license.
for the uninitiated, this Centerland, many of,
Oh.
may have known this online training site as Centerland. It's now under a new name,
Target Solutions.
Target Solutions.
So if anybody else has any interest, send me an email as soon as he sends me the stuff, and we can, if you're interested and you wanna come to the, presentation, we'd love to have you. And then, again, we gotta make sure we can do it legally. It sounds like we can, but I just gotta figure out, if we can. We'd be one of the first to do something similar to this, so.
Okay.
How would that, let's say I'm a user in ABC department in Allegheny County. I want to utilize this Target Solutions for my CME-based recertification.
Again, that's where I think I need to talk to Mike, Phil, and Bobby, because to make sure that they're gonna be okay using
With
that
accepting those.
for their CME-based.
Well, at a minimum, we would have to change, agency or correspondence.
We would have to redo all their
Right,
applications.
That's correct, that would have to be done, but I'm not opposed to finding a better way to do anything.
So it would be a process, but I think it would be beneficial to everyone long term.
And what would the fee be? Do we know that?
I
per
have to
user?
negotiate that. I was told it's negotiable based on my volume number, so I sent them, how many providers we work with for credentialing purposes and stuff, and apparently the initiation fee and the actual per provider is negotiable. Do you know what you pay per person?
Well, we pay $109 per person, but
You got the fire.
it's fire and EMS and code enforcement and OSHA, so we have everything.
I'm hoping to get it to be around $50 a person
Per year.
per year. But I'm not gonna tell them
Let's say
that.
the reimbursement from the state for this.
For the CME program part of it, that would be these three gentlemen. We
They
would not.
They would get the reimbursement, not the individual agencies.
That's the way it is now, correct?
All depends. I think for Kent County it is.
For our county, it's the individual agency pretty much gets their own. And then who would take care of your individual agency's people to understand who's in the program and where they are?
Well, again, it's a whole process. It's kind of like a parent-child, so the agency would be the child, and then they, depending on how they wrote their plan, would have to follow their plan the way it's written. So if their plan is, for example, the way the city's doing it is you have to do so many hours each month, or you're, basically booted out of the program.
Can be, yeah.
It can actually be set up that way. And again, we're still trying to, negotiate, because I think there's a lot of different pieces. It depends on what pieces we
The
choose.
question okay, what you're saying is Mike would take care of everyone in Allegheny County as to where they are in their CMEs?
No, each
Oh,
agency would.
Each agency as we do
But
now.
again, right now, Phil and Bobby, and I believe Mike, they help monitor it. So if you still want that relationship, it could still be there.
Correct. There would definitely have to be something in writing, saying that it was approved from Gene at the state level, because right now in the manual, it basically says you can do 50% online of CME and core, but no more. So that would have to be approved.
Right.
It would be 100%.
So, which you got approval for, which City of Olean did get approval for.
Right.
So it's possible, and again, I don't know what it's gonna look like. I just wanted to let you know it's something we're exploring, and if you want more information, or you wanna be more a part of it, let me know. It's something, we talked about at the Allegheny Council meeting, and we're just keep moving forward on it. Like I said, the gentleman's been out of country, so.
Okay, just an easy way to clear it up. For example, when we went to get licensed, there was 2 other departments, water and sewer and the police department, that looked to come online. So basically the city of Olean put their, when they signed a contract with the company, it was a generic license that said city of Olean. So it was a one-time franchise fee, and if we would have said fire department, if the water department decided to come in a year later, there's another initiation fee. If the police department, because it didn't say, you know, you got too specific, is what it basically kind of long and short of it is. Because it's a municipal solutions, it just doesn't do fire and EMS. Yeah, granted it has those modules, but it does a lot of.
Similar to what Pennsylvania's doing with the train module.
It's the one that Pennsylvania uses, this Target Solution bought them Center Learn out. So stay tuned and let us know if you're interested in when we do the presentation, or they come and do the presentation.
Okay, any other new business?
Just as a point of clarification, in case we have to take a vote on what to spend additional funds with electronically, just to clarify what Mickey said, from Robert's rules, for an email message to be part of a meeting, it must be sent to all members. However, for a vote to be valid in the context of an email meeting, a quorum of ballots must be returned. And unless otherwise provided, this quorum is 1/2, but not everyone has to agree or approve it unanimously. And you can also do consensus votes, in which case only nay votes need to be returned, in which case your quorum is automatically guaranteed. So it just needs to be specified in how you're voting in the process, but just as a point of clarification.
Okay, thank you.
I don't remember if this came up at the last meeting or not, but Maggie Thompson, who usually sits right here, has been very ill. She's out of the hospital now, recovering at home, but it's going to be a long haul, and I would like to suggest that the council send her a card or flowers or whatever we can afford to do. Tell her we're thinking about her, and we hope for her to have a speedy recovery.
But she is on a restricted diet, right? Because I know someone had mentioned sending chocolate or something.
No.
Yeah, so she is on, okay.
Okay.
At least a card.
Yeah. Do we need a motion on that, or?
Chair's pleasure.
Okay. Any other new business? Okay, next meeting, April 5th, 2017 at 18:30 here at Good Times of Olean. Need a motion to adjourn? Tim?
Second.
Scott? All in favor? Opposed?
Can I make one suggestion on the Carnegie? I'm sorry, but what if we could send out an email to everybody, if there's something you want written in the card, send it back to us, and then Abby will handwrite it in the card for you, so it'll make it too long.
I do have different colored pens.
We do
We're
have
covered.
different color pens if you would like, but that way at least it won't just be the council. If you wanted to put a specific note, or if you're okay with that, we'll send out an email tomorrow and you can respond back. Is that okay?
All right, we have a motion made, second, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Carried.